Hey everyone, welcome back. So in our previous videos we discussed about some of the AWS cloud fundamentals. We understand the difference between on-premise and the cloud, understood the AWS Redshift architecture, and we looked into some of the different terminologies about how to load data into Redshift and everything. Now in this video we're going to be doing our first exercise, so let's get started. Now first of all, what we need to do, we need to set the billing alarm. Okay, so what do, you just go and click on the my billing dashboard onto your AWS account. On top of here, let me just so you first you need to go onto the billing preference. So inside the billing preference, what you need to do, you need to make sure that you already ticked on to this particular thing, which is receiving billing alerts. Okay, once you do that, you need to go to CloudWatch. CloudWatch is basically used for monitoring some of the AWS services and the resources you use. So it basically keeps the logs of everything you do onto the entire AWS. Now once you open the CloudWatch, what we're gonna do, we're gonna set some kind of the billing limitation. So let's say if we set the $5, so in case if you get charged for the $5, you will get the email notification that your resource is running and your billing is more than the $5. Okay, so inside the CloudWatch, what you need to do, you just need to go and click on the billing. So it will load the billing dashboard. Now in the billing, what you need to do, you need to click on and create alarm. Now over here, generally it charges based on the USD. So your metric name is basically, let's say, let's keep it default, which is basically estimated charges. Your currency is USD. Okay, let's keep everything over here. The main important part is this number. Okay, so we're gonna keep it static and it is greater than some kind of a number. So let's say if it is your charge goes to greater than $5, okay, then you will get that kind of notification. Over here you need to don't do anything, just select the existing or create the new topic. It will create automatically the new SSN. SSN is basically simple notification service, which basically used for the email notification. So you can basically enter your email address over here, so that on this particular email you will get the notification. Then you can click on the create topic and it will create that particular notification topic. Then you go to next and you give the name, which is budget alarm. Okay, budget alarm. And then you go next, and when everything seems good, you just click on the alarm. Now what you need to do, once you create your alarm, you need to go onto your email and accept it. Once you accept that particular thing, then you will be able to receive those alerts. Okay, now once you've done this, okay, so now your billing alarm is set up. You need to go onto the Redshift. So you can go onto this particular search bar, or what you can do, you can directly click over the Amazon Redshift over here. Now we already looked into the Redshift console in our previous videos. So now in this video, our main focus will be to create the Redshift cluster. That's pretty simple. It's not that complicated. So we're going to be mainly focusing on that thing. And once we have our Redshift cluster ready, then what we're going to do, we're going to insert some of the data, create some tables for the demo purposes, and then we're gonna look into the further details. Okay, so once you are over here, just click on the create Redshift cluster. Now over here we have the region, so make sure you click on the region nearest your location. So I'm just gonna select the Mumbai. Now if you're living, let's say, in US, then you can select the nearest region based on the location you're currently living in. Now let's wait for it to load. So over here we have to fill some of the information. Okay, so this first thing we're gonna give my Redshift shift cluster. Okay, now we have the two options. One is the production. So generally when you are working on a large scale database, you can select the production, but we're gonna go with the free trial in case, because AWS provide you the 12 months free trial period, so you can basically explore the services and everything. So inside the free trial you will get these things automatically. So let's say if we click the production, then you will have to select a lot of things by yourself, such as node type, which we already talked about, the number of nodes you need. Okay, so all these things you're gonna be getting inside the production, but in the free trial they will give you DC to large and only one node and the two computation power over here. And this is the basically what we already talked about in the previous video. Now sample data, it will automatically load this particular sample data in our Redshift cluster, and we will also load this data in our future videos manually. So it's just to showcase the copy command. Okay, now over here we have the AWS user, so we're gonna keep it default, and the password you can keep anything. I'm just gonna provide the password over here. Okay, then you just click on the create cluster. Oh wait, yeah, make sure password contains one capital letter. Okay, then we're gonna click on the create cluster and it should create that particular cluster. Wait, yeah, so currently it will take around 2 to 3 minutes to create this entire cluster. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna skip to that particular part and resume this particular video. So the cluster is ready now. So once you see the available status over here, that means the cluster is ready. Now we're just gonna click onto this cluster and understand some of the things. Okay, so cluster always has the endpoint. Using this particular endpoint you can connect to the cluster, so we're gonna be doing that in our next video, maybe when we use the Python to connect with the Redshift cluster. Then cluster has a lot of things also, so it has the properties. So inside the properties, what you can see all the security and the VPC information. So basically you can see the database name, which is the dev by default. Then the port number, we will be using this particular port number to connect to this particular cluster. Then we have the parameter groups that we will discuss in some of the future videos. Then we have the VPC. These are all the networking and the security things. So once we talk about the detailed video, once we do the detailed video on the security, then we will talk about these things. But just understand that there are a lot of things that are connected with the Redshift cluster, and when we create this, because this is the entire data warehouse. Okay, so it needs those kind of things such as security of the database, then the maintenance, the schedules, then monitoring the performance of the database, how much load it is taking and everything. Okay, so these things you can easily get onto the console. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna be clicking on to this editor and we will be running some basic query on top of the Redshift. So you are basically on AWS. Okay, so you can directly connect to your Redshift database by clicking on the create database. Now you can basically directly connect to the Redshift database using the connect database. Now over here we're gonna keep it this as it is. So secret manager is basically you can store your credentials over here onto the AWS service for securely, but we're gonna be using temporary credential for now. Now on the Redshift, what we need, one is your database name. Okay, so what you can do, you can go to the properties and you will find all this information that required in the database. So I'm just gonna click on the properties, then on the database name, which is dev. Okay, then our database user is AWS user. Okay, I'm gonna paste this over here and click on the connect. Now this is basically creating a connection. So if you remember in our previous video, we used Python and pgadmin to connect to the PostgreSQL, but over here we can directly use the Redshift connector and directly connect to this. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna be basically running some of the queries. Okay, so let's create one table and insert some of the basic data over there. Okay, the syntax of creating table is the straightforward, okay, what we've been using till now. But if you don't understand the syntax, you can always Google it. And this is basic SQL, so you don't have to worry about a lot of things over here. So we're gonna be writing this. Okay, the create table. Let's create the table for shoes. Okay, then we have shoe type. Let me just zoom in so that you guys can see this particular query. So what I'm going to do, create table shoes, shoe type, then this is varchar. Okay, so just like the PostgreSQL, and I'm gonna give this like size of the 255. Okay, length. Then we have the color. Let's say shoe also has the color, so varchar again. Let's give it 11. Okay, the color, and just semicolon, and I'm just gonna run this particular query over here. Let's see if this gives error or run successfully. Yeah, completed. Okay, so this particular query is completed. Now we're gonna be inserting our data into Yeah, now we're going to be inserting our data. Okay, so the insert query, you guys remember what you need to write: insert into shoes. Okay, shoes is our table name, then values, then we're going to provide different values over here. So now I just ran the insert query and this is complete. What I'm going to do right now is just select star from shoes. Okay, and let me get all the results that we inserted right now, and you will be able to see the final result over here. It's loading. Let me zoom out this little bit so that you guys can see everything. Now just remember, this takes a little bit time because we are running on the single node, so single node does not give you everything, but as you can see those inserted values are over here. Now this was just a tutorial to understand how we can create the Redshift cluster and insert and create basic table. Now the next thing you need to make sure that whenever you close the AWS account or your console, you make sure you delete this particular Redshift cluster, or this is currently the free version, but in case in the future if you forget to delete it, then you will get charged a lot. Okay, so I don't want to create a snapshot, okay, before deleting, and you can just go to delete and just type delete and click on the delete cluster. Okay, so it will basically delete the entire cluster. So in the next video we will be understanding a little bit about DevOps. Okay, so data engineering is the combination of the data engineering, DevOps, software engineering, a lot of things. So we're going to be understanding different ways you can interact with the AWS console and you can create some of the resources. So right now what we use the UI to create the cluster, but there are multiple ways and we will be looking into that, and that is basically called as infrastructure as a code. So we will be creating our entire infrastructure. Basically the infrastructure is basically you create multiple services and connect together, so that is your entire infrastructure. So we will be doing those things using code. Okay, and we will be discussing that thing in our next video. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.